Julie here with Sirius Tavis Moon, and this is not a usual reading. It's Jupiter hour, Moon day, Moon Scorpio, Ascendant Midheaven ruled by the Malefics. But I'm gonna proceed on. Well, nothing is on the toxic degree. um, I see it's an basically prediction. I see a discovery of new outer planet, a new planet, but the new planet symbolizes something that the world doesn't understand yet, which is, it makes sense because upon discovery of new planets, we basically have new forms of consciousnesses. Mundanely in the background, we're going to have Uranus ingressing into Gemini, which is booming technology, and Uranus also rules space. So we'll probably be able to reach, travel to, or observe space, but and of course Pluto in Aquarius, discovering the secrets of outer space. But I say a new planet. It's not a new planet, but the discovery of the planet comes together with a consciousness of the planet. And a consciousness is preparing for that planet. And it seems to be that probably that planet has something that a derivative of that, or something that manifests as relation between people, because the context in which I was discovering that planet, or that will see that planet, was relational, and I was trying to explain something, and I saw that there was barely readiness, and I was like, I feel like I'm an alien, and my consciousness went there, and then I was like, wait a minute, to say another planet. And I was trying to find out which planet. And this is planet that a consciousness need to be ready. It seems to me that this planet is secure, but it's finding it difficult to bring itself to the awareness of Earth, or to Earth. I don't think the planet is going to collide into Earth, but because it's bringing a frequency that's different. It's different safe. It's different secure. And whatever is going on Earth right now, maybe other people can see or sense this planet. Again, the context for me was, I was trying to explain something relational, and I felt like there was difficulty in accepting what I come to explain. And I was like, is that Aries? No. Is that Uranus ingress to Gemini? No. And I'm like, okay, it's a new planet. It's a new planet. Like, it's a new planet. So I don't know it to say we're about to discover a new planet. Most of the cosmos we don't know, so it makes sense. Okay, there's nothing scientifically impossible about that. But on on our ability to relate or embody or let's say understand the astrology of this planet. Our consciousness as humanity is going, it needs to go through something. And I'm getting the sense that that planet was trying to get itself through society. It's this is why I was like, is that Aries? Because I have 1 square Aries, and Aries is next to my Mercury. But no, it's another planet. And Aries causes chaos. That planet is not there. Is that planet is like, it's like secure attachment. It doesn't cause chaos, but there's something about the planet which tries to reckon itself, or reckon itself within people, or create a connection with people so that it can be discovered. So that somebody would look at the sky and look for that planet. And I think that the current, I'm trying to explain to that, because the current planets are discovered within context. And this context usually necessitate that many of them either clone the scientists, or there's something incredibly inverted around their positioning. And so the people that are the ones who would discover planets usually are the ones that are looking through a microscope, to a telescope, and they usually people, and usually there are consciousnesses that they need, just like with crystals or energy crystals. And it's like, I'm the consciousness that they need. And that's exactly the thing that there's an outreach where throughout scientific discovery, I don't know where is this planet. Um, it brings safety. It is safety. It's not a talisman of protection. I mean, one could see it as talisman of protection, but it's not about protection, because it's a consciousness where people will no longer be thinking in that term. And that was exactly the conversation I was having. Because I was turning to the energy of someone who made a talisman for protection. It was something that happened. I was like, hey, do you want to live in this like Spartan perpetual war state where you can't even grow your children, you're constantly being on the watch? And then I was like, I'm feeling like I'm a planet that tries to make itself seen by Earth. And I was like, wait a second, which planet is that? I'm like, no, it's a planet that's not seen, that it's not discovered. And it has implications in what people call the security, but it doesn't talk about security per se. Okay, I'm trying to find the signification of that planet. Um, there's also a calling from Earth. I think we do not channel Earth. The people channel Gaia, but I feel very strongly Earth as well. When we look at the chart, we see planets bringing something to Earth, or the influences upon Earth. Uh, and people can also channel Earth, is what I'm saying. They need to connect with Earth to see. They need to connect with Earth, and this planet is very connected with Earth. It's another planet of life, maybe? But to discover life, we need to live. Oh, okay. Okay. Wait. To discover planets that have life, think about it even scientifically. Um, just like to reach the crown chakra or to fly, we need to touch ground. Um, Normally, how do we look for life on Earth? We're like, could this play? What we look to Earth and say, what is it on Earth that contains life, and what do we need to see? What are we looking for? We're looking for bodies of water. We're looking for soil that has, the curves in it where it could sustain or contain water. We're looking for a certain type of atmosphere. So scientifically, we know to tell we're looking for life. Relationally, people don't know what to look for when they look for a planet that has life, because it also pertains relation, and this planet seems to embody life. It's a planet where there's life in it. And it's like that planet and Earth connect. Um, I want us to think about the fourth house as the planet, okay, as Earth. We call Earth the planet. And the way life is sustained, there are a lot of things that we do to have life on Earth. Um, or that planet has that too. Or the problems of this planet. It's, it's not about a savior planet. It's more about being. It's what our planet tries to be. Our planet tries to be. It's like looking at that planet where there is life, and this planet creates a connection where both planets can be, or create a connection and both planets can be in that connection. I feel very strongly Earth. Basically, we're looking for more life. We're looking for another planet where there's life. We're looking for more life on Earth. I'm not talking about I'm not talking about more babies. I'm talking about more life on Earth. I'm talking about more life on Earth, and then naturally, like when we are in life, then we see the living, and we can also see the living in space. It kind of reminds me of when the Egyptians built the pyramids to get the gnosis, and the gnosis was to abolish slavery by aligning the feminine and masculine, which they reserved for the elite, and then there was a downfall of Egypt. Um, but this one is not like that. We're about to discover a world. Stop trying to assassinate me, thank you. I feel somebody was like with a sword on my around my throat. I'm like, I wasn't even saying anything about the cult. Um, so we're about to discover a planet where there's life, and to connect with that, we discovered this life on Earth. It's very interesting as an astrologer to think about the astrology of another Earth affecting Earth, or um, because, you know, in astrology we look at people like talismans and how they affect one another. Um, so you think about another planet where there's life affecting Earth, or how where would we see that, whether in the constellations or so. Um, it could show us when in the year is best to travel or nearest to travel. And perhaps we need to think about that. We need to think about those things, because that's life on Earth. There's a warm, there's a warm connection. There's a connection, embodied connection. Venus is now squaring Uranus. Jupiter is really exalted here. Jupiter is in Cancer. It's before language. I know the last decan of Taurus is before language. Um, being is an energy before language. By the way, people, when there was something interfering in that being state, then language doesn't develop well. Or there are anomalies that try to compensate. My parents said that I would wake up really early in the morning and speak gibberish when I was an infant. And it's kind of what I'm doing right now. Um, language tries to, or the voice tries to assert itself, its sense of self, in the face of all the things that are on Earth right now, and that planet is trying to be. I opened it with the planet that is trying to be acknowledged. Like, we might be looking for other Earths or life in space, and we're not letting life be in this Earth, and that is why we don't discover, because Gemini is also technology. The rituals that are done. Okay, if we want to discover another planet with life in it, or that can sustain life, we need to sustain life. And what's happening in the world right now is very, very challenging of that. It's not about controlling life. It's about sustaining life. And that planet is clearly a planet where there is life, like on Earth. We're not discovering it, and it tries because it sees humanity as like seeking, 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 seeking. So think about, thinking from the perspective of the planet. It's like everybody's looking for a planet where there's life in it, okay? While they are on Earth. So both Earth is like, hello, you're ruining life here. And the other planet is like, hey, you're looking for, and both of them try to say, we are planets with life. We are planets with life. Hello, here we are. And nobody contains the vessel to see. How will even people point the telescopes or come up with the technology? And it's a wave-based technology. Okay, we need to far see more into the atmosphere. But all of our frequencies are polluting the frequencies that see life within, around, and where that planet is. It could be one of the planets, probably many of them. Okay, it's wave is frequency. Neptune is waves, for example. Not only. We're looking for life on Earth. I can say, as a person living on Earth, like, yeah, in the academic institutions where they look for life on Earth, they group rape one another and call it enlightenment. And then they go looking at their microscopes and telescopes and trying to see biology and trying to see the cosmos and wonder why they don't discover a planet where there's life in it. To discover life, people need to see life itself. And mind you, my discovery was where I was having kind of like an energy conversation. I was like, I feel like a planet that tries to I feel like or feel like alien, or like a planet that tries to uh, be and is not really being perceived in a way that, and I feel like many people have to deal with many things to see, to be able to, and that can be an Aries thing, or, all the planets that we already do know. Okay, Moon Aries squares many times. It's kind of like, um, because people have to face a lot of things that they have been swiping under the rug or not even being aware of. The context was, it took a freaking Epstein list discovery to talk about MK Ultra and MK Ultra without people swiping it under the rug. What do you think was satanic panic? It was Epstein. And this is just one example of how we're looking for Earth. We're looking for another Earth. We're looking for life, a planet where there's life, a planet where there's life. The people that are looking through, and the technology that they're looking through, is, how they do international, let's say Montauk Project, which is timeline and bending time. They rape, they put these people to be raped, to rape, to be breeded, stolen from the sperm stolen, having many children castrated, the breeding farms, and then they go into big dissociations, and then they're supposed to work with aliens to traffic people, like, and then we're looking for a life on Earth, and I'm like, how do you expect to see? How do you expect to discover? Hmm. And you know how much we've been looking for another planet with life on. I'm 41, probably way before that. You know what the trajectory it sets on? And it's almost like a projector that we set on to watch the universe. And then that planet's like, hey, hello, hi, hello, you're looking for life. Looking for a planet where there's life. I am a planet where there's life. And nobody sees. And people unaliving themselves on Earth. And then Earth is like, well, you tell me. And I've been trying to tell them that I'm a planet with life. I can sustain life if they choose to. That doesn't seem what they have in mind. Everybody on Earth is like weird. They try to protect one another and then torture one another. And then they're present with you. You don't know if that's a psyop or not. and are very busy with controlling things that are absolutely better not being in control. They don't even need to be controlled. But it may be because they went through torture, so they are more sensitive to frequency. And it was like, but I'm the planet that they're looking for. And and that was, yeah, that was kind of very difficult for the world to see, because the world needs to deal with many things that it either swiped under the rug or didn't know that it didn't know. Um, yeah, science is not, or discovery, or life, or planet where there's life is not something to be used to control people. And it will not be discovered in that way, but it's not like there is a planet that's holding its discovery. It's like there's a planet that tries to be here, and there's a planet that tries to um, is a planet that tries to there are many things that try to corrupt the frequency of discovery. Halting science, I talked about that a lot. um, and that planet is not like, oh, you won't be able to see me until, it's like it really tries to show itself. It doesn't play power games. Um, and then people, humanity needs to, um, it's a frequency attunement. And many things, it's like there are many things that challenge, there are many things that are not attuned. But they're not attuned because of a lot of violence. And so their lack of attunement is violence in itself. Um, and they have to attune to see that planet that they're looking for. And then they constantly have to face themselves to see a planet with life in it. But it wasn't it was made like that by design. It wasn't like that by design. It was made like that by artificial design. There was something that was trying to collapse, people building something beautiful. And and that planet is connected with that. Also this planet, but that planet is connected with that. Is connected with the something beautiful that people were building or creating and manifesting. And because it discovered, it opened the door to the people that are in the less attuned to build with love, or with love is an earthly word, but um, with the creation, a discovery, with um, and yeah, people not even born with love. It's true, which is not a way to discover a world where there is life. But it's not even from that vantage point. It's like that planet really tries. It's not like it tries to make itself known. It was called for, and it tries to answer that call or to make it clear that it is here. And the many things, both that people need to face, to clear. Kind of like that Epstein list, like people needed to face the cloning project. People needed to face the fact that on Earth there were such soul prisons built that people couldn't come out of. And it was not because they didn't want to, but they didn't even. They weren't even. And it manufactured a lot of what is being exposed right now. And I can't even see what is being exposed right now because I don't have internet connection to see that. Um, but I guess there are more things being exposed right now. And okay, there are people that are feeling very bitter about somebody seeing things, even though it looks like they were trying to show or tell. Because there was something that was taking people's manifestation and work and plagiarizing it by raping them, or siphoning the energy around it by raping them. Um, and even their words. And that's like classified, to build certain classified technology. But it's an enslaving one, and this planet is trying to be. And like everybody been looking for a planet where there's life. And I'm like, we're going to discover a planet where there's life. It's gonna have astrological significations, but we need to attune to life. those mockery, ridicule rituals of those who build temples are preventing from the very discovery that they seek another planet where there's life. But their frequencies are, they're too stuck in humiliation. Okay? It's kind of like, and I'm going to say the word Nazis not as a cuss word, but it's kind of like historical. The Nazis, Nazi party, but it was also Nazi endeavors. Most of the Nazi was basically looted by the Americans as paperclip, which is the Nazi scientists. So the Nazis, or the Nazi scientists, they were trying to build superhuman more in the open, because the Medicis did that, Rothschild, Rockefeller, everybody was trying to like build people, or build races, or play with cloning, House of Orange, but they were doing that very much in the open, and people call it transhumanism today, and they were particularly the Nazis. It could be the Templars, like I don't know that much, but they were so busy with humiliation rituals, and it doesn't allow for life, while they were trying to build super life. Aries about to ingress to Taurus in less than 50 years. I say this is a century of Aries in Taurus, in Aries, but also this planet that is, it has life in it. Okay, of course we're going to see it as astrologically moving around the earth, or situated in approximation to constellation so and so, but it's a new planet, it has life in it. Astrology is going to come to life way more than it already is, because life is going to come to life, and it's exciting, and the frequencies of rape and humiliation, ridicule and belittling people are not okay. If you see a person acting like that outward, towards an authority figure, it means that that was done to them. Okay, I'm not talking about satire. Okay, um, and you're gonna see the authority figures that have the frequency of working with beings that have like, there's a void, okay, and people are gonna see that void. Um, but this is um, those frequencies of mockery rituals. Okay, mockery, the response to mockery ritual is in many times satire, and the people that do the mockery rituals, they can't really take satire, because satire is calling to the inner world, and mockery is not. Mockery is trying to collapse a frequency, where satire is an awakening of life within. Okay, think mockery was the AI or not AI picture of IDF soldiers wearing red dresses that they supposedly stole from Palestinian women, being proud of it somehow. Okay, This is a mockery. This is trying to collapse life. Satire is Mama Taliban back in Gaza after genocide. Is women are still being trafficked by Palestinians, trafficking Palestinian women in Gaza after that already created a genocide. It's kind of like genocide. Okay, they're back. they're the traffickers are back. It's kind of like if they tomorrow exterminated Israel, and we would see the Epstein wearing penguin suits back. Um, okay, that's satire. It calls us to awaken to something, to wake up to something. Um, Nobody is defending the security of any nation doing humiliation rituals to women, AI or not. Okay? I'm talking about the picture, I'm not talking about the everythingness. Um, the everythingness is the people raping children in Romania and then being extorted to commit war crimes. People are still not safe in the places where they said that they are going to protect by destroying Gaza. they're still being bombed and there's still risks of invasion. So apparently that going back to and of course many people died, but hey, they thought the Me Too went too far. You sit and people casually talk about them raping children in Thailand, next to their wives and children, talking about trafficking, and that's the reality. And then people are looking for life, and then there's this planet where there is life trying to make itself known because it's like, hey, people were looking for this planet. And it's not even about, oh, everybody's looking for life elsewhere, there's life here. No, people were doing the right things. They were looking for bodies of water. They were looking for atmosphere that can sustain oxygen. Um, okay, and that planet begins to show itself. It's not just, oh, Earth is calling. It's like people were listening to the call of Earth, and thus there is another planet where there is life that connects with Earth and is another planet. It's two planets. This planet is Earth and another Earth, or another planet that's like Earth. And um, and all those frequencies of scaring people, preventing them to speak, vaping people, collapsing the frequency, enslaving people, um, and blaming them for speaking up. Okay? It's like, hey, if people don't change those things, that planet is going to be discovered. Like, hey, the people that have tended to, like, what are we looking for? Bodies of water. What are we looking for? Atmosphere that sustains life. What are we looking for? That planet is going to be discovered, but it can be a great war because the barriers within that which we've been manifesting for so fucking long as humanity, the good things and everything that tried to enslave, to collapse, to plagiarize, to create within mockery rituals, to create within um, rape rituals, to create within cloning farms. That shit gotta go. People doing rituals to collapse the words that people use to manifest good things, and then complain that those people don't go to satanic rituals with them, but expose Satanism. People trying to prevent people from growing. And then complain where their endeavors are being outed with names. They try to bring confusion and have, you know, they tell people to seek clarity, but they try to bring confusion around the people that actually speak and seek that clarity. And they rape people. And it's like, what's going to happen is not that planet will not be discovered, but those people will be gone. And here is the thing, that planet is not trying to kill anybody. People will, oh my God, okay. Did we discover important planets after Second World War? I think we discovered Pluto. When was Pluto discovered? Uranus was discovered during the American Revolution. When was Pluto discovered? Aries was discovered in 1990s after the Soviet fall, after the Soviet Union fall. So, and it isn't like the Soviet Union wasn't looking, the Cold War about it was a space race. So I feel that